In a small community somewhere in Delta State lived a family of 5. Papa Yoma, Mama Yoma, Ibunu, Swo, and Yoma. Every morning before the sun touched the village roads, Mama Yoma was already awake. She cooked, cleaned, prepared the children for school, then stepped out to look for daily work. While others were still planning their day, Mama Yoma was already under the hot sun. Some days, she carried her cutlass to clear people's farm, while other days, she worked at building sites, all because she wanted Ibunu, Swo, and Yoma to have a better future. But while Mama Yoma struggled, Papa Yoma spent his days sitting with friends, playing draft, drinking, and laughing. When evening came, Mama Yoma returned tired, yet she still entered the kitchen. She served her husband, served her children, and when everyone had finished eating, Mama Yoma quietly checked the pot for what was left. Because in that house, Mama Yoma always ate last, but nobody knew what this sacrifice was doing to her body. Every evening, Papa Yoma returned home expecting food. He never asked how the food came. He never asked where the money came from. He never asked if Mama Yoma had eaten. One evening he shouted, "Woman, why is food not ready? What were you doing since morning?" Mama Yoma looked at her tired hands, the same hands that carried blocks, the same hands that cleared farms, but she said nothing. She only entered the kitchen and prepared what she could. Ibunu, Swo, and Yoma watched their mother smile through her pain. Sometimes, after serving everybody, there was almost nothing left. But whenever the children asked, "Mama, won't you eat?" she smiled and said, "I am okay. I ate earlier." But Mama Yoma knew the truth. She had not eaten. She was only protecting her family. But how long can one woman keep giving without receiving? Years passed, and Mama Yoma continued carrying the family on her shoulders. Every little money she made, she planned it carefully. Food for the house, books for Ibunu, Swo, and Yoma, school fees, their future. Sometimes she ignored her own needs just to make sure her children had what they needed. People saw a strong woman, but nobody saw the pain behind her smile. At night, when everyone was sleeping, Mama Yoma would quietly massage her aching body. Her strength was fading. Her body was getting tired. But every morning, she still woke up saying, "My children must have a better life than me." Until one day, her body started giving warning signs she could no longer ignore. Something was about to happen that would change the family forever. That morning, Mama Yoma woke up like every other day. Even though her body was tired, she still prepared the house. She made sure Papa Yoma, Ibunu, Swo, and Yoma had something to eat. Then she carried herself to the building site to work. Under the hot sun, Mama Yoma mixed concrete. She carried sand. She carried blocks. But this time, her body was not responding like before. Her hands became weak. Her strength was leaving her body. Some workers noticed and said, "Mama Yoma, please rest oh." But she replied, "If I don't work today, what will my children eat?" A few moments later, everything around her became dark. Mama Yoma collapsed. Everyone at the building site stopped. People rushed towards her. They quickly carried her to the community clinic. The woman who had carried the whole family for years could no longer carry herself. At the community clinic, the nurse examined Mama Yoma carefully. Then she looked at Papa Yoma and asked, "When last did this woman rest?" Papa Yoma had no answer. The nurse asked again, "When last did she eat properly?" The room became silent. For the first time, Papa Yoma looked at his wife differently. The woman he complained to every day was the same woman keeping the family alive. While he spent his days playing draft, playing cards, drinking and laughing with friends, Mama Yoma was slowly losing herself to save the family. The nurse looked at him and said, "This woman needs care. Her body is exhausted." Those words entered Papa Yoma's heart. He lowered his head because he finally understood the pain he never noticed. But what Papa Yoma did after that day shocked his friends. Papa Yoma sat silently outside the small community clinic. The nurse's words kept echoing in his head. This woman needs care. Her body is exhausted. For the first time in many years, Papa Yoma lowered his head in shame. He remembered the countless mornings Mama Yoma left home before sunrise. He remembered the evenings she returned covered in cement dust after working at building sites. He remembered the farms where she cleared grasses with nothing but a cutlass. He remembered every meal she served him before touching the empty pot herself. Then he broke down. Inside the clinic, Mama Yoma rested peacefully. Then Papa Yoma walked in slowly and sat beside her bed. He gently held her weak hands. Mama Yoma, she slowly opened her eyes. I am sorry, he said. I failed you. You carried burdens that belonged to both of us. Mama Yoma looked at him quietly. She didn't speak, but the tears in her eyes said enough. The nurse smiled gently before leaving them alone. The following morning, Papa Yoma woke before sunrise. Instead of walking to the village square to play draft and cards, he carried a shovel and left the compound. People watched him with surprise. Some laughed, others whispered. By afternoon, he had found work helping laborers upload cement and blocks at a nearby construction site. The work was difficult. His hands blistered. His back ached, but he refused to complain. When evening came, he collected his first honest wages. Instead of stopping with his friends, he went straight to the market. He bought rice, beans, vegetables, fish, palm oil, soap, exercise books for the children, and fruits for Mama Yoma. When he reached home, Igbunu swore and Yoma stared in disbelief. Papa Yoma placed everything on the table. Mama Yoma looked at him with surprise. He smiled softly. From today, he said, you will never have to carry this family alone again. For the first time in many years, Mama Yoma smiled with hope. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Papa Yoma continued working every single day. He no longer spent his afternoons playing draft beneath the village tree. His old friends couldn't understand what had happened to him. One afternoon they called him over. Papa Yoma, so your wife has finally controlled you. Another laughed loudly. We don't see you playing draft anymore, he said. Have you become your wife's servant? The other men burst into laughter. Papa Yoma smiled calmly. He wasn't angry. He just looked at each of them before speaking. Then he said, a real man is not measured by how long he sits under a tree. A real man is measured by how well he provides for those God has placed in his care. The laughter slowly faded. Then he continued, even the Bible says anyone who cannot provide for his family is worse than an infidel. His friends looked at him with a sigh. And then he continued, I have wasted enough years. I won't waste another. Silence covered the gathering. No one laughed again. Papa Yoma picked up his work tools and quietly walked away. Meanwhile, Mama Yoma grew stronger every day. With proper food, enough rest, and the love now surrounding her, her smile slowly returned. She no longer woke before everyone else. Sometimes, Papa Yoma prepared breakfast before she even entered the kitchen. The children watched everything. They noticed how their father had changed. They noticed how he respected their mother without anyone telling them. They learned what true love looked like. Years passed. Igbunu completed her education. Swore followed soon after. Little Yoma also worked hard and became one of the best students in his class. The sacrifice Mama Yoma had made those years didn't go in vain. One by one, the children completed their education. They found good jobs. Their first salaries did not go towards expensive clothes. They came back home, placed envelopes before their parents and said, this is for both of you. You gave us everything. Now, it is our turn. Mama Yoma could no longer hold back her tears. Papa Yoma smiled proudly. The family embraced one another. That evening, something happened that no one in the family would ever forget. Dinner was ready. Everyone sat around the table. Papa Yoma served Mama Yoma's plate first. He placed it gently before her. Then he smiled. No more eating last, he said. You eat first. The children nodded happily. Yes, Mama. "You eat first," they said. Mama Yoma looked around the table, at her husband, at Igbunu, at Swore, and at Yoma, the family she had sacrificed everything for. Her eyes filled with tears of joy. For the first time in many years, she took the first bite. Everyone smiled, not because of the food, but because love had finally found its rightful place in their home. Sometimes, the greatest heroes are not the ones the world celebrates. They are the mothers who quietly give everything so their families can survive. But every sacrifice deserves to be seen. Every act of love deserves to be honored. And every family becomes stronger when love, responsibility, and respect are shared.